What happens when your hostel room comes with free Wi-Fi, a creaky bed, and a full-time ghost with serious emotional baggage? That's Khauf for you. Amazon Prime's latest horror series that's less about jump scares and more about the kind of trauma that doesn't just haunt you. It possesses you. The story kicks off with Madhu, a young woman who moves into a Delhi girls' hostel, trying to escape her past. But surprise, her new room isn't exactly empty. There's something off, and I don't just mean the damp walls and flickering tube light. This place holds secrets, and so does Madhu. Now, Khauf could have gone the usual haunted house route, but nope. It decides to take a detour through psychological horror, generational trauma, and good old patriarchy. There's a literal ghost, yes, but it's also a metaphor for guilt, for pain, for everything society expects women to quietly endure. This isn't horror that screams in your face. It whispers in your ear till your skin crawls. The spirit isn't some monster from the underworld. It's the weight of silence, shame, and abuse that's never dealt with. And Madhu? She's not just running from a ghost. She's running from what happened to her, what she never said out loud. Monika Panwar as Madhu absolutely owns the role. There's a rawness in her performance that makes every breakdown feel real and every scared glance feel earned. You watch her go from scared and withdrawn to someone slowly confronting her deepest fears. She carries the whole show on her shoulders and does it like a pro. Then there's Geetanjali Kulkarni and Shilpa Shukla, both delivering those icy, layered performances where every line feels like it's hiding a second meaning. You can tell their characters have seen things, and not just supernatural ones. Visually, the series nails the horror aesthetic without ever overdoing it. The dimly lit corridors, the uncomfortable silences, the old school switches that make a sound before the light comes on. Khauf uses its setting brilliantly to create a sense of claustrophobia and unease. You're not just watching the horror, you feel it closing in. The camera lingers just a second too long on empty hallways, and you end up holding your breath without realizing it. It's not flashy, it's tense. Now let's talk pacing. The first few episodes hook you in with the mystery and the eerie buildup. But around the middle, it does lose a bit of steam. The plot slows, and you start wondering where it's all headed. Some characters are introduced with potential but don't really get the development they deserve. But just when you think the momentum's fading, the final few episodes come in swinging. Emotionally intense, thematically powerful, and finally delivering the answers you've been waiting for. What sets Khauf apart, though, is that it isn't trying to be just a scary story. It's trying to say something. It's using horror to talk about things that are often brushed under the rug. Sexual abuse, societal pressure, the generational trauma passed down in silence. And it does all this without being too in your face. It makes you uncomfortable in the right way. You're not scared of the ghost. You're scared of what it represents. And honestly, that hits harder than any CGI demon ever could. So, final verdict? Khauf is a haunting experience, both literally and emotionally. It's not for everyone, especially if you're expecting fast-paced horror or clean, tidy storytelling. But if you like your thrillers messy, meaningful, and soaked in metaphor, you'll find this series deeply satisfying. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10 haunted hostels. It's thoughtful, chilling, and bold enough to do horror differently. Like the review? Then hit that like button like Madhu hits her inner demons. Subscribe to the Cinemeld for more breakdowns, binge guides, and cinematic chaos. And tell me in the comments, if your PG room had a ghost, but also unlimited Wi-Fi and was 5 minutes from the metro, would you risk it or just break your lease and call it a day?